Tony Washington is an associate minister at Antioch Missionary Baptist Church near Maben in Webster County. Today, I'm explaining what you need to do before applying for a skilled trade position. I attended a certification class showing how you can easily enter the food industry. It's neighbors helping neighbors. That's what it's all about here in the Magnolia State. And check this out. The Hunger Coalition of Northeast Mississippi is holding a chicken giveaway this Saturday. Right now, a study is underway to determine if the bridge can be repaired, and it is unclear when the bridge will officially close. If you or your company or your business, organization, whatever, would like to help Extra Table feed those families in need for hunger and security, just make sure that you go to WTVA.com for more information. Live in Tupelo, Avery Hilliard, WTVA 9 News. Ma'am, we are here today for your Be the Solution campaign on human trafficking. Now, can you tell us about this new phase? It's phase 3, that is.
The malicious terrorist attack in New Orleans on New Year's, where 14 people died. We've heard and seen videos of what police are saying the scene was like afterwards. Yesterday, we caught up with a local college sports information director who was on his way down to New Orleans to enjoy the Sugar Bowl when he heard the news. WTVA's Avery Hilliard joining us live in the studio with how one man found out about the tragedy before he ever even got there.
Yeah, Emily, Adam Gore is the sports information director at Itawamba Community College. He and some friends took a trip to New Orleans to catch the Notre Dame versus Georgia game in the Sugar Bowl on their Christmas break. Now, instead of running into excited fans celebrating in the downtown, they ran into a cold-blooded act of terrorism.
Yeah, I guess the good Lord was looking out for us.
Adam Gore says he and friends were traveling to New Orleans for the big game. He is a diehard Notre Dame fan.
Thanks to WTVA, I've been a Notre Dame fan since I was little. We do a guys trip every year, and we went up for the playoff game last week and decided just to wait and see how low tickets got, and they got pretty affordable. So we was able to get some pretty cheap tickets and some good seats, and last minute decision to come on down and cheer on the Irish.
Gore and his buddies could not wait to see his beloved Irish take on the Georgia Bulldogs. The last thing on their minds on this ride was a terrorist attack on Bourbon Street.
Woke up to a bunch of messages this morning. Everybody like, man, are you okay? What's going on? And kind of freaked me out for a second. Didn't really know what was going on until somebody finally was like, oh, have you not seen what's happened in New Orleans?
But Gore and his friends still decided to go to New Orleans. In fact, he says he has sort of been in this situation before.
We went to a WWE event that in Atlanta that had a terrorist threat attack to it. We still went, and it was it felt more safe than I've ever been.
But Gore knows that the WWE experience could not compare to this trip to New Orleans.
I totally understand people that aren't comfortable with wanting to be in this atmosphere. I don't blame them, to be honest with you.
We asked him Wednesday what it was like when he and his friends arrived in New Orleans.
You can tell it's different. I've been to New Orleans a few times. Obviously, it's everybody knows what New Orleans is, but it's not that same happy-go-lucky vibe, I guess you can say. Obviously, people are on edge, and rightfully so.
In the midst of all that happened, Gore was still looking to have a good time.
Hopefully, it's going to be a good time. That's the American spirit is, don't let fear conquer us all. Still go forth and do good things. And hopefully that's what we'll be able to do this weekend. The Notre Dame versus Georgia game was set to happen Wednesday, but due to the attack, it was moved to today. Now, we can assume that Gore and his friends still went to that game and had a good time, and that's because the Fighting Irish beat Georgia with the final score Notre Dame 23, Georgia 10. Live in studio, Avery Hilliard, WTVA 9 News. Hunger is a problem all over the country and here in North Mississippi. And when food pantries depend on federal dollars, a shutdown isn't a good thing. Jason Martin, the executive director at St. Luke's Food Pantry, says government shutdowns make it even harder to do the work they do every day. And on top of that, the pantry was already facing challenges before the shutdown began. Right here is a bin full of spaghetti, but when I stand over here, it's empty. This is usually where another bin of food is, but due to a lack of donations, it's empty. And that gap right there is just one example of how the pantry is feeling the impact.
Martin tells me the government shutdown is making a tough situation even worse.
One of the ways is that the furloughed employees, federal employees, will very likely be looking for pantry services for those if this furlough lasts very long. Another one of the ways that will be impacted is the delay in some of the food that we're accustomed to getting through the USDA TFAP program. That's one of the programs that really helps support us, and that's also the program that was cut significantly back in the early part of the year. And so, those cuts have had a deep impact on us here at the food pantry.
With this shutdown happening and the cuts happening to the pantry, they need the community's help.
We need donations more than ever now to make the ends meet and be able to feed the people who are coming in for services.
Though donations are needed, Martin says for folks who rely on them to stay calm.
We're going to be here doing all that we can to continue providing the services that we always have.
And here's how you can help.
People can donate online at stlukefoodpantry.org. Hit that donate button, and there's also a mailing address on there. They can mail that a check-in if that's something they want to do, or find us on Facebook and donate through there.
St. Luke's Food Pantry will be open tomorrow. Volunteers will serve from 8 until noon. The pantry is open every Thursday, whether the government is operating or not. Live in studio, Avery Hilliard, WTVA 9 News.